on your records, when would I have heard Voxes? When do I hear Z's? And when do I hear Trainwrecks?
So by Mud on the Tires, you're hearing some Dr. Z's on it.
Okay.
For that, I by the first two records are all the red box.
Okay.
Me through that red box. Sometimes through
the 63 Vox.
Yeah, if it's a Tele. If there's a lot of songs. There's things like I played a ES335 on the jazz tune on the first record. Oh, lighten up. Where's your sense of humor in this tiny little room? But it's like that. That's a 335 through that red box. But then if you hear like a Gretsch or a 12-string, it might be through another amp, something else. But then by Mud on the Tires, I start adding Dr. Z's to the mix, and some others. Like on the Mud on the Tires solo, one of the things that's really cool about that is I think that's the red box with an amp he made then called a Z28. Just a little bit of that with a JBL 15. And that was me trying to get what that ribbon mic's doing.
Right, get the extra
so
beef.
It's in a separate room, and it's barely on.
Yeah.
But it gives it, it gave that red box a little more thump. That's a great sound, but it's its own thing. Like, I never did that live. Like, there'd be no way to make that work all night. There'd be songs where it's like, you kick in a tube screamer and you're like, I really wish that 15 wasn't on right now.
Right.
But that was some of that. Then on, like, by the time I get to Ticks, I think I had the Rocket by then. And at least the Liverpool. So you're starting to hear that, just a more diverse sounding guitar part.
Now, when you would go out and tour, would you wouldn't bring all this stuff out of me. You always...
Now and then, like this tour, I'm going to bring out a Trainwreck some. Just why not,
And how many guitars will you bring out with you typically?
That's a good question. Dave, are you still here? No. He's catching a plane today because we start our tour this week. But I think probably like 15.
Okay.
There's going to be there's a couple acoustics for a song or two that I do like that on a live gig like that. And then a bunch of tellies. I've got, so this is the fun part about the early days. So I'm touring with one amp, one guitar. I did my whole first year of touring with my 68 Paisley telly and that red box and a pedal board. And I don't know how I didn't have to cancel shows.
Yeah, how did this thing...
I don't know.
How did that break down? I mean,
don't know.
It's ridiculous.
If I were to break a string, I don't know what I would have done. And then my friend Bill Crook from West Virginia, who at the time was a sound man, and he started to build guitars and said, you need a backup. Let me build you one. And we got benders put in them. And he built me a maroon and a black telly that were Paisley. They were like a different, like a total black and white and maroon and like a yellow. And so I had those. Finally, I had backup guitars.
Okay.
And had Glacier put benders in them and took them out and had 3 options.
I'd like to take a second to talk to you about this channel. This is actually Rick Beato 2. I've had it since the beginning of my main channel, and many of you are not subscribed. As a matter of fact, 87% of the people that watch this channel regularly are not subscribed. So I encourage you to hit the subscribe button on this channel and on my main channel. This will help me get even more of my dream guests and help continue to grow both channels. Thank you. Okay, wait. For people,
I was living high on the hog at that point.
Okay, so I don't mean to interrupt. For people that don't know what benders are, because there's people that are okay. You have B benders and G benders,
right? And pretty much everybody played a B when I started, but some of the guys that had the double benders, like Jimmy Olander, who's amazing from Diamond Rio, he would use the G as much as the B.
Explain what it is, though.
So it's the string. That's one of the jokes we tell in the Fender video, the launch video, is it's like, why a B string or why a G string? And it's like, do I really need to explain why we like the G string? I mean, No, but it's like the G for me is a thicker sounding. If I can get it to do it. It's more throaty, a little more, you know. The B is a great sound. The B would be bending the B string, which is this thing that you hear on Eagles records and you hear on Ricky Skaggs and Brent Mason, and that'd be what it'd sound like.
Yeah.
And that's a very identifiable, you know, peaceful, easy feeling kind of. But for me, it was like, I wanted to sound unique. Like I wanted to be able to, my goal when I was cutting those early records was you would hear a guitar and know it's my record before I sang. That would be the goal.
Yeah.
You know, like if you heard, like on the first album, track 1 is Long Sermon. Is the song, and it's. I was like, that was me trying to come up with a part that sounded like me, and that was my '68 pink Paisley through the red Vox, but it sounds like this, you know, and you know, in that sense. I wanted to be identifiable, and so not many people play on a G. I started to just get those put in the guitars that I was using live, and really used it to like come up with parts that's the sound.